YouTube, what is good? Today we are, let me make sure my shit's not on mute like it always is. Today we are talking about change in state of delivery. Now, CISD or change in state of delivery is roughly the same shit as break of structure and market structure shift. However, it's just a little bit different, right? Same, but different. Okay? So, shout out to y'all who know what movie that is from. It's a goated movie. Anyways, as you guys can see on my screen, we have a little Picasso drawing, right? So let's get right into it. So we are in an uptrend, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Okay. So what did we go over yesterday, right? We went over market structure shift and break of structure. So where would the break of structure be in this scenario, right? Where would the break of structure be back to the downside? It would be at this low right here, right? So price would have to, let me draw something out real quick. Price would have to look something like this. Let me just do that so it's quicker. Right? Something like this and close beneath this low right here in order for it to be a break of structure, right? Now, what did I say yesterday if price just wicks under the low but doesn't close beneath it, right? That's not a break of structure. All it is just a liquidity sweep, right? And we'll get into that later on. I think next episode, next episode we'll get into liquidity, and then into liquidity sweeps. However, not the point. The point is, this wouldn't be a break of structure, right? However, with CISD, this would be a change in state of delivery. Why? Now pause it if you guys know. If you guys don't know, here's your answer. Because all the change in state of delivery is, instead of closing beneath the low for a break of structure, you close beneath the body of the series of up close candles, right? So we're in an uptrend. We create a down close candle right here, and then we have three straight candles, or three straight bullish candles, right? And then we create a high, right? So for a change in state of delivery, all we have to do is just close beneath the series of up close candles. So right here, we have these three series of up close candles, and we just have to close beneath the body of it, or the opening price, right? So what do we get? Here's our change in state of delivery right here. Boom. We get a CISD or change in state of delivery, right? It's not a break of structure or market structure shift, right? That would imply to being at the low, and price would have to do something like this. Where CISD is literally just the body. Now, you guys can draw this out. I'll make a bearish example for you guys so it's not too confusing. Give me 1 second. I'm a little bit dyslexic, so give me 1 second. I'm like, all right, how the fuck do I do this? Not a little bit, I am dyslexic, so bear with me. All right, and then we're gonna have a green, right? To create a low. I gotta draw this shit backwards. This is what's fucking me up. Just bear with me, everyone. Alright, boom. I know what I'm doing now. 1, 2. Alright. Let me draw this shit out and then I'll explain it to you guys, right? All right, so boom. Say our chart looks like this, right? We're in a downtrend. We create a low right here. We're still in a downtrend, right? We're respecting it. We don't break structure back to the upside, right? Chart looks like this. Now, where would our break of structure be in this scenario? It would be at this high right here, right? This is the most recent high created. So it would be right here, right? Break of structure. Where would our CISD be? Pause it and see if you know. I'll give you guys like 3 seconds. Our CISD would be at the opening price of the series of down close candles, right? Because we want to have a change in state of delivery back to the upside. So, pop quiz. We have a low that was created right here. Going. Is this a CISD? No, it's not. Why? Because we didn't close above the opening price, right? We still haven't done it. Is this a break of structure? If you said yes, you're a fucking idiot. No, it's not. Why? Because we didn't close above this high right here. Okay? Now, what is this? This is fucking amazing if I'm taking longs, right? We have a break of structure and a CISD. Now, what is just this? This is just a change in state of delivery, right? So here is your bullish example, right? We are going up, uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then what do we get? We get price close beneath the series of up close candles. And then what do we get right here? We get price to close above the series of down close candles, right? So let's write this out real quick. Oh, fuck. Bullish example, right? Need price to close below the series of down close candles. And then what do we get right here in our downtrend, our bearish example? Wait, I got the, bro, I'm telling you guys, I'm dyslexic. I'm fucking dyslexic. Up close candles, right? And then for the bearish example, right, we're in a bearish trend, and to get bullish, what do we need? Need price to close above the series of down close candles. Technically, this would be a bullish because we're going bullish, but I'm saying bearish because we're in a bearish trend, and then bullish because we're in a bullish trend, right? So for our bullish example, what do we need? We need price to close below the series of up close candles in order for it to shift structure down, right? Now, it's not a market structure shift. A market structure shift and break of structure would be right here. However, this does indicate a shift in market or a shift in trend, right? Other than that, that's really it. Like I said, it was same, but different. Shout out to y'all who know that movie. And then one other point is, we'll get into this later, but essentially all the CISD is a failed order block. And what is a failed order block? A failed order block is a breaker block. So we'll get into that later on, but you guys can write that down as well. A change in state of delivery is a failed order block, aka a breaker block. And then we'll get into those in a couple episodes from now. I think next episode is liquidity. So without further ado, that's it. Your guys' homework for tonight. Oh, we forgot to spot them on the chart. Let's go spot them real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, boom, right here. Right. We're coming all the way down, right? So where would our CISD be in this leg right here? Be right here. At the top, if we want to get bullish again and have bullish structure, what do we need for CISD? We need price to close above the series of down close candles. And where's the top of it? Right here. Here's the opening price, right? What do we end up getting? Not that, right? We continue farther and farther down. We create a high, then a lower low, then a lower high, right? And then a lower low. Now, our high point is right here, so that would be for a break of structure. But where would our CISD be? Back to the upside. Right here. At the start of the series of the down close candles. So where do we get that? We get it with this candle. Do we get it with this candle right here? No, because it's just the wick that goes above it, right? We need a body closure above the opening price. right? So that's all that is, guys. That should be enough information on it. I don't really use CISD much in because it is an entry model. I don't really use it for my entry, right? I use inversions. However, you can incorporate it into your inversion model to get higher conviction on your trade. So that being said, that'll be it, and I will be back here tomorrow with, I believe, a liquidity video. So y'all have a great night. Guys, I'm fucking stupid. I literally just told you guys what your homework was going to be. I was in mid-sentence, and then we ended up getting into the chart work. So your guys' homework tonight is literally just going to be spot 10 examples of change in state of delivery or CISD, and that's it, right? Spot the difference and really incorporate, try to look at the difference between breakage structure and CISD. It's not much of a difference, but there is differences there, right? Same, but different. So with that being said, that will be all now. You guys have a great night, and I will catch y'all boys tomorrow with another video.